was pregnant with 2 babies at the age of 18. Hey guys, my name is Kiani. I'm starting this new channel, so I hope you guys can follow me and subscribe down below to keep up with me in my new channel. So, today's video is gonna be about how I got pregnant at 18 with twins and my parents and family's reaction and how I found out I was even having twins at all. So, I'm gonna start. It may sound crazy, but I have always wanted to be a young mom. I've always dreamt of being, you know, a younger mom, having a family to grow with. I didn't want to be like 27, 30, having my first child. I wanted to be young, to be able to enjoy them throughout my 20s, you know, just enjoy them. So that was always my plan. Find someone, you know, the one, and settle down, start a family, all of that, right? Within like these last teen years, early 20s, whatever. So as I had been in a few relationships that didn't lead anywhere, didn't go anywhere, I kind of had gave up on relationships, on love, on that dream of mine. So after graduation, I was working at Olive Garden, and to my surprise, I found myself liking a new guy that worked there. Long story short, you know, we talked and we started dating. His name is Kareem, by the way. We started dating in August, and I knew he was the one. Like, he was, I know it's so cliche to say, but he was different. He was older, he was mature, and I liked that. He was everything that I had wanted. And we also both wanted to be younger parents. We were both on the same page. Although he was older than me, like I said, he was about 5 years older than me. I was 18 at the time, he was 23. Now he's 25 and I'm 19. But I really liked that he was ready. He was ready to commit to me, to us. He was ready to settle down, as well as I. And yeah, so the new year rolls around, and I am gonna say that we didn't specifically plan to conceive at a specific date, week, month, whatever. We just knew what we were doing, and we knew the outcome, right? That's what we wanted. We wanted to eventually have a baby of our own. So we knew what we were doing, so we just let it happen when it happened, you know? So I would say it was like mid-February. I noticed I hadn't gotten my period, so I waited till the end of the month, and then March rolls around, and I was like, it was March 19th to be exact. We were both working at Olive Garden one night, and it was almost the end of the night, and I was like, Kareem, I can't, like, I haven't gotten my period in almost a month, like, I have to be pregnant. And he's like, I don't know, just wait it out. Like, why? Like, I just need to know. He's like, okay. So we went to Walmart after work, and he bought me a pregnancy test. I went into the Walmart bathroom, peed on the stick, put it back in the box because I didn't want to open it by myself. So we walked out back to the car, and we both opened it. I had it flipped over, counted down, and we flipped it over together. And there is the second line. It's not faint, but very much clear. Now, inside, I was very, very ecstatic. I was so happy. I was like, Yanni, you got what you wanted. I couldn't be more happy. But on the other hand, I was very much scared, only for the fact about my parents, about my family, about how they were gonna find out, what was gonna happen to me with them, our relationship, just everything. Now, of course, I knew if worst comes to worst, they kick me out, which would be very much expected, which what I was expecting. I would always be with Kareem, so that's where I felt kind of at peace. But we did want to wait to tell them because Kareem had wanted to come up with a plan and kind of just get stuff done before we tell them, because he knew my dad would be like, okay, you're taking responsibility, you need to step up, what are your plans, what are you going to do next, blah 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 blah. So we decided to wait. I wanted to tell them like right away, but he was like, no, I think we should wait. So what ended up happening is I think we dragged it very much along for telling them, because we waited until it was almost June. It was like May 24th to be exact. And we didn't even get to tell them. Like, we obviously were going to come to them, tell them ourselves, but my dumb self got caught off guard, and my mother was smart. So she had found folic acid pills in my room, which, if you guys don't know, if you're pregnant, you take those, you know, just an iron vitamin. And she was like, why are you taking folic acid pills? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, Kareem just gave me it to them because he's a nursing student. So I don't know. I just felt like he knew what he was doing to help me be healthier. I don't know. I just like pretended to sound dumb. And she was like, okay. Like, she didn't mind it. She just, whatever, brushed it off. Then I remember one day I was home alone and Kareem and I were here, and we had actually went to the doctor's office. And that morning we came back and we were sitting on the front living room couch, and I had the little like gauze bandage on my thing, and I took it off and I left it on like the little coffee table or whatever. Well, my mom came home. I didn't even think. She found it and was like, literally that same night, she called me into her room. She was like, close the door, and I know if this ever happens, it's something serious, or I don't know. But I knew it was about to go down, and I was like so caught off guard. I wasn't ready. Kareem wasn't with me. I was so scared to hear what they were gonna say, but I was like, you know what, Gianni, it's been so long. You need to step up and tell them. So when they asked me to come in, I went in and they were like, are you pregnant? And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, but yes, I am pregnant. Immediately my mom started bawling. My dad was just sighing, shaking his head. Like, it was pretty bad that night. They made me call Kareem. It was like 2 in the morning, and they were like, you need to come over here, we need to talk, how is this possible, just blah 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 blah, you need to come right away. So he ends up coming. Thank God he had just dropped me off because we had went somewhere, so he was on his way back home. It wasn't like he was at home and then he had to come over here, but he was already on his way, so he just made a Yui, came over here. He knew what happened too because my dad didn't tell him anything, but he knew what it was. So yeah, we got that very, very strong lecture from both of my parents. But then the next day, my mom came to me by herself. She came to my room. I mean, I had been crying pretty much all night. I just felt so bad. I felt so guilty. I felt like I disappointed them, which I did. But, you know, ultimately, this is what I had wanted. And unfortunately, they didn't know that, because how am I going to come out and tell my parents? I want to be a teen mom. I want to be a young mom. Like, that would have been crazy to them. I don't know what would have happened if I ever told them that. But anyways, so my mom came to me the next morning, and of course she was crying, but she was also like, Gianni, I'm sorry about last night. I'm just, I was hurt. I'm sad because, we envisioned you to be better, do better, because she was a young mom as well. She had me at 18 as well. So she was like, I just wanted you to finish school, start your career, then get married, then have kids. But if this is what you wanted, we support you. If you are happy, truly happy, then we are happy as well. And honestly, I felt like a big, how does the saying go? A big weight was lifted off my shoulders. Like, honestly, because that was the thing I feared most. That it was the only thing I stressed about during my pregnancy. So I felt very, very supported, like loved, like I was lucky. Like, I really thought the worst. I really thought they were gonna disown me, kick me out. I don't know. Like, you just never know, because that's how Mexicans are. So, when we told them when they found out, I should say, I was about 16 to 17 weeks. I was like 4 months, which I wasn't showing at all, which is crazy for twins now that I think about it. I wasn't showing at all, like at all. So yeah, after we told them, I still hadn't gone to my OBGYN appointments, which is crazy because I had to get insurance worked out and all that. So we ended up going June 6th, which was a week later, which was very, very convenient that my parents found out the week before or whatever. So of course my mom wanted to go to my first appointment. So it was me and Kareem and my mom. We all went, and we walk in, I'm very excited, I'm very nervous. At the time, I didn't know how far along I was, to be honest, because I didn't know when I got pregnant exactly. We just assumed it was like January, February-ish, so we didn't know exactly. But anyways, we go in. He's like, I didn't undress. He just came in. Really, really amazing doctor. I love him. He started to do the ultrasound, but I don't even remember what happened. But all I remember, I'm gonna put a little like clip in here, because that is when Kareem started recording about the big news. So he starts, looking or whatever, and he's like measuring to see how far along I am and whatnot. And then he goes like, whoa, there's something else, like there's a surprise, there's some news. And I'm like, what? Like, we're all like, what? And he like steals on my belly, right? And my mom's like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, what? It's like, you are having twins. There's 2. And at that moment, I'm like, am I dreaming? Like, what? Is this real life? Like, is this a joke? Because he's very much a jokester, the doctor. I was like, this can't be true. And my mom starts crying, and she's like, oh my gosh, this is what I've always wanted. I can't believe you have twins. Kareem is like shook, like he's like frozen, like he's like, what? And I'm literally like dead frozen. I'm like, you're kidding. I'm like, what? And this is when Kareem's recording.
It's crazy. I feel like I'm in a dream. Doctor, your face looks not good. Is that bad?
I'm checking for something specific.
My heart is pounding.
because I'm trying to make sure, I'm trying to see if they're in one bag or two bags.
Oh my God.
You don't really want them in one bag, so I'm trying to find the bag separation. You don't want identical twins in the same bag.
Why?
Because
And I'm like, there's two? Like, never in a million years would I have expected or thought I could have twins. Like, that to me is just like some celebrity stuff. Like, celebrities have twins. Like, no ordinary person has twins that I know of, right? So that was never in my ballpark. I was like, I didn't even dream of having twins. Like, my mom said she's always wanted twins. I just never thought it would be a possibility. It could never happen. But little old me was pregnant with 2 babies at the age of 18. I was shook. I didn't even know. Like, to this day, I still don't believe it, honestly. I have my babies and I'm like, I really had 2 kids. I have 2 whole kids. It's pretty wild. So yeah, it was crazy. So that is that. And I'll also insert some other like reactions. I told my dad that night. We went to Olive Garden, of course, and we gave him and my 2 younger brothers the news.
It's so cute.
Oh wow, in a frame?
Yeah. Come, look, boys.
Look.
No. No.
Yes.
En serio. Seriously.
Bird, that's not fake. It says my name.
I was crying there.
Are you kidding?
What? I don't get it. What?
It's twins.
Nito knows.
Twins.
I told you.
And then I think the next day I told 2 of my best friends, 3 of my best friends also. Nathan! Look.
Oh, I love your blouse.
Look.
You're pregnant? You're pregnant? Oh my god, what the fuck, bitch? She's pregnant, let's celebrate! Shit. Damn.
And yeah, I do have stories about why they came so early and how premature they were, the NICU story, all of that. My labor was crazy. Why I didn't have a gender reveal or a baby shower, because believe me, I wanted to have those so bad. Unfortunately, I couldn't. So if you guys do want a story time about those things, please let me know in the comments and I would gladly love to film those for you. I just feel like if I were to do it in this video, it would be way too long. So I'm gonna cut it short from here and answer some of the questions you guys DM'd me on Instagram. So